Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Investments and Refreshments. My name is JT, and today we're talking about Bitcoin. And while we talk about that, I'm going to be trying this Barefoot Spritzer Crisp White Wine-Based Spritzer. It has 5.5% ABV, and it is brought to us by Barefoot Wines. I'll be reviewing this at the end of the video, so if you're interested in that, please stay tuned. Otherwise, let's talk Bitcoin. So the reason why people are talking about Bitcoin right now is because a billionaire investor named Ray Dalio is saying that he believes that there is a high likelihood that Bitcoin is going to be outlawed in the United States. Take it away, Ray.
Bitcoin is a bubble, okay? Bitcoin is a bubble. It's a shame. So when you look at Bitcoin, it's an alternative because there aren't many such assets. As far as the government allowing it, every country treasures its monopoly on controlling the supply and demand. They don't want other money to be operating or competing because things can get out of control. So I think that it would be very likely that you will have it under a certain set of circumstances, outlawed the way gold was outlawed. And you're watching that question arise in India today.
All right. So, here are my counterpoints to what Ray has said. Gold was outlawed in the United States in 1934 following the Great Depression. And the government was afraid that the fear and uncertainty surrounding the future of the American dollar would drive people to try and utilize gold as a new currency to take over from the dollar and take that power away from the Federal Reserve. So it was kind of a defense mechanism to try and prevent something like that from happening. Now, a key factor in many people's interest in cryptocurrency is just that it's decentralized and it's not controlled by one single power. Here's the difference though. Gold could be turned into coins and could be used as currency, as payment very easily. Cryptocurrency is not quite as effective as USD yet. That's not to say in the future that it might not get there, and at that point we could expect a lot more regulations to be placed on the currency. But at this moment, it's more convenient actually to use the dollar. If transactions in cryptocurrency got a lot faster and fees went way down and it became very convenient to use as currency, then the US government would probably start to worry and you could see some restrictions being placed upon it. But until that happens, I think we're okay. Also, even though gold was outlawed, it wasn't something that everyone was taking all that seriously. Whenever Gerald Ford finally lifted that ban in 1974, he couldn't even believe that it still existed. So, even if cryptocurrency is illegalized, it's decentralized and everyone has an internet connection. Also, it's not completely anonymous, but also due to how the blockchain works, it would take a long time to find each wallet and track down anyone who is using cryptocurrency. So I don't think that this is going to be something that really people have to worry about having long-term implications for. You can see India starting to restrict. That being said, is Bitcoin due a correction? It's honestly hard to predict when cryptocurrencies will dip. Is Bitcoin going to dip again in the future? Yes, it will. Just as everything does. Nothing goes up forever. That's not how things work. But whenever Bitcoin dips, whenever something that you believe in dips, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Actually, you can look at it as a good thing. Because if you're excited about something, if you believe that there is great things coming, there's a bright future for what you are invested in, whenever that comes down and becomes more affordable for you to buy, that's a great thing. I recommend at the current price to hold. I do believe that there is a correction coming. So hold. When the correction starts to happen, don't sell. Just wait until you have a good entry point. Again, you want to get that dollar cost average down. And if you believe that Bitcoin is going to hit $100,000, which, believe me, in 2018 to many people just sounded outlandish, just sounded crazy. Bitcoin could hit $100,000. I remember there were clickbait articles and videos on YouTube talking about Bitcoin could hit $100,000, and people were just shrugging it off because it didn't make any sense. But now they're not shrugging it off anymore. Now that could be the reality. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. But before Bitcoin goes to $100,000, we're going to see it pull back a bit. So here's another negative catalyst for Bitcoin right now. There are $6 billion in Bitcoin options expiring. So here's another negative catalyst for Bitcoin right now. $6 billion of Bitcoin options expired on Friday. And if we take January for an example, whenever $3.5 billion in Bitcoin options expired, which was the previous record, you saw the price of Bitcoin pull back about 25%. And if that pattern stays true for this round as well, then the price could go down to around $42,000 on the next pullback. And if that is the case, I would definitely recommend buying. I'll be buying, and again, I recommend that you guys do as well. But this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy with a glass of wine talking about crypto. Now that I've whined about Bitcoin enough, I want to talk about this wine. So, technically this is a seltzer with a wine base. But honestly, through drinking this, I'm getting more wine than seltzer. There are some bubbles, but it's not what you might imagine. It is crisp, and I can taste the pear. It's a decent white wine. It's nothing to write home about, but it's okay. If I went over to a friend's house and this is all they had to drink, I wouldn't be mad. I would drink it, but I don't think that I'll be seeking this out and buying it myself. So I'm going to give this about a 2.8 out of 5. It's drinkable. Do taste more apple than pear, and I wish it was a little bit more tangy and had a bit more of a bite. But overall, it's all right. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell icon. If you have any feedback for this video or any ideas for future videos, please leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much, and good luck in your investments.